I thought it might be fun to walk y'all through the process of this redesign, like what was going on in my head. First thing we're going to start off with saying is that cutie marks do not exist in the universe that these characters are going to be in after having been redesigned by me. Meaning that I definitely didn't just forget to do it. I promise. So, I decided to make her look a little bit more like a Shire. So you're short, chubby, like, or Shetland. I said Shire, I meant Shetland. So your Shetland ponies, your little ponies. I don't remember very many tiny ponies. Right here you can see in the top right hand corner reference, I'm trying to figure out how to give her a very big bun and make it still look kind of like it's attached to her because I haven't drawn ponies in a very, very long time. Than me just getting caught up in sketching. I do that a lot. My cat's under me. Hi, baby. Hi, Maple. I'm getting into my lining now. I am gonna get, once again, way too into the curls. I gave her a very fluffy kind of, airy chest fluff. Because with me making her a Pegasus, it makes sense to me for her to have some loose, flowy fur on her chest to help with movement. You know, kind of like how ducks and large birds often have fluff on their chest. If you hear crunching, that is my cat eating. I'm not going to stop recording just because she's eating. Girl needs to eat. With her, I'm sorry I keep saying I haven't done a recording in forever. She has a little basket, because in this AU, she is still doing baking and things. So she delivers baked goods a lot. In this case, she's taking something home for herself, which is why it's not in a satchel or anything, it's just in a little basket with a nice little blue cloth. Here I'm making her hooves very fluffy, because what's a pony without very fluffy hooves? I'm just doing my outline of her curls before I go into lining them. When you're drawing hair, always do the shape before you do the actual details. And don't go overboard with details, because you don't need to. Your brain's gonna fill in the shapes. Don't be like me and have your lines pretty basic, and then when you get to your hair, it's very fluffy, very detailed. To me, it feels a little bit distracting, but I have had friends while I was streaming work on this tell me that I was doing pretty okay. But it may be a design choice that I later reconsider. You can see I was trying to draw a ribbon in her mane to show that it was tied up, but both her head mane and her tail mane are tied up. You can also see me adding spots here. It's because I wanted to try to go for either piebaldism or vitiligo. It just ended up looking like spots, so she's got a little bit of a dapple in her, I guess. I was going to make her brown, and that's because with the food theming, I was going to try to make her look like a cake. And I realized I couldn't get a very good looking coloration there. It didn't fit the sketch that I had personally. So I'm using some alterations to her original coat, like adding some white, giving her some sleeves, things like that. Desaturating her mane so it fits the type of colorations that I did. And we're doing some shading here. Shading and lighting, which I'm trying to relearn. I'm kind of going back to the basics to relearn things. I'm not going to go into deets, but if you know me, my previous living situation was not the best, so I couldn't really learn actively. I just kind of had to draw when I could and hope that I was learning and doing better. So right here we're doing some shading and lighting, which I got very carried away with. I'm also trying something different with the eyes. Coloring after this one shouldn't be too bad because I found a much softer coloring brush. Which sucks, because that would have been incredibly useful for the sketch of Pinkie. See, I'm going into more shading here. I don't know, it looked kind of flat with the basic shading, so I wanted to add a little bit more. See, I've got a little bounce light on her legs and her belly because it didn't make sense to not do it to me. I'm trying to work on adding bounce light to pieces more. See, I'm still going in with the shading. You hear my cat playing with her toy. She's got one of those mouse toys that they can roll around and it knocks kibble or treats out of it, so just playing with that right now. See, I'm going through and coloring my lines because I think that adds a lot more fun to my personal sketches. See, I'm adjusting her eyelashes. And she's done. Unshaded first. And then shaded with her beautiful blue little hooves.